I am Susana Lopez. I'm the Secretary General for Prenatal Alliance. I'm also a prenatal educator, pre and postnatal yoga teacher. And I would like you to welcome to our next panel, and will be our last panel for our summit. So thank you all, our guests, for joining us today and to be part of this panel for mother and baby social health. During these lectures, of course, the audience can make questions. So after each lecture, just put your questions in the chat and I will look for them and ask to our guests. So for now, and to start right up, I want to welcome Noemí Solano. She is the president of the Foundation Institution of Free Intelligence, Inteligencia Libre. She is a consultant specialist in early language acquisition, a certified prenatal and perinatal educator, and an expert on early care and childhood development. Through innovation-based education projects at schools, university training programs, and lectures, she makes parents, childhood, and primary educators aware of giving relevance to the prenatal period that help promote the child's well-being and self-realization from the beginning of life. Her lecture today will be on prenatal education, thriving and sustainable societies. Noemí, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so happy to have you here. The stage is yours. Unmute. Yeah. Okay, unmute yourself.
Now?
There you are.
Okay,
great.
Okay. Well, it's my pleasure. Well, it's a unique event that you have organized. And then it's amazing to be here and then to welcome all of the audience worldwide that have joined us to this amazing event that's so needed, yeah? So thank you, many thanks for inviting us. I'm representing my organization, obviously. So thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here today. Yeah. And then I just need to share my presentation. I will. Let me open. Okay. But what I need is to move. That's the only thing. I don't know why. Okay, now. Well, so let's start. We have not very much time, so let me put the laptop. Sorry. Okay, now it's falling down. Yeah. Okay. So, well, the first thing I would like to share with all the audience, with all of you, is who we are. So we are a non-profit foundation registered since 2012 with the Spanish Ministry of Education, Culture and Sport. I'm going faster in some of the slides because of the time we have yet to share and for each of us to speak. Our work is to advocate parenting education before conception and emphasize the importance on the mother-baby bond during gestation, being the womb the child's first system of reference in her social emotional learning. How we do this work? Around Spain, through education-based innovation projects, as Susana has said previously, at early childhood and primary schools, university training programs, around Spain specialized in neuroscience, early development and education. We make parents, early childhood and primary educators aware of giving transcendental relevance to this prenatal period because of the importance and the influence that will have about the mother's physical, emotional, and mental states and how it will influence on the child wellness. And the most important thing is not only wellness, but in relation to the self-realization, the child's self-realization from the beginning of life. Well, this is the central idea, the main points I will be focused my lecture on today. It is the prenatal period, the boom, is closely linked to the who we are. I mean, where it starts, who we are. And that means that all personal wellness, all social-emotional self-regulation, our sense of surviving and of thriving and even of happiness, all of that is tied in the womb. The pure connection with our early sense of self, our uniqueness, what makes us different to others, and the fulfillment of our lifelong projects are in close relation with wellness and social-emotional balance from the prenatal stage to the first years of life, to up to 7 years of life, of the child's life. So the mother's womb, as we may all know, is our first experiential universe to sense, to feel, to explore, to show our innate preferences or tendencies. And the most important is to start expressing who we are. So the womb as would represent or is representing the first school of learning for the baby. And that means that all of these ingredients, key ingredients that we find here, that the baby needs to feel welcome, that culture of welcome when it's born, love, when I'm not going to read all of them, but all of them are obviously are required in the sense that the baby needs to feel security, balance, sensitivity, trust, coherence. And all of these ingredients the baby needs are so important because he can create and give shape to the early sense of self. I mean, the importance of this first school of learning for us, it is very linked to the baby is developing his innate faculties, his essential qualities, and all of that gives shape to the lifelong project, to his life purpose. So this is the main idea I'd like to share all of the time, I mean, on this lecture. And what is even so important is first school of learning for the baby, for every new human being, because the baby will be able to become a conscious, a balanced, self-regulated, pacific, and sustainable, and even a happy human being for his entire life. So the first emotions, thoughts that the baby starts experiencing in the womb leave an imprint in his deepest emotional structure, as we may all know, and his true essence, the early sense of self that starts giving shape or building, as we now know through the limited evidence that exists today worldwide. So, and this deepest emotional structure that has been affected, it will also affect the child's later social-emotional development during the early childhood development. So it is so important, this first stage, for the later subsequent stages. But why are so important? As adults, when we need to overcome challenges and difficult circumstances, we draw upon our early experiences, for better or for worse. We need to build the child's social-emotional foundations from prenatal to the first years of life, where the child is acquiring his behavioral patterns for his entire life. That is the main reason of these first thoughts, first emotion, that become the first experience for the baby. And how does the mother's womb influence on the child's physical, mental, and emotional health? If we bear in mind the womb represents the child's first physical, emotional, and mental environment, the mother's mental peace is a key ingredient for child's wellness and his whole development. Now I would like to share with you just a very short piece of an interview was made to David Chamberlain, that is one of the leading pioneers in the field of prenatal and perinatal psychology. So let me, well, I can open here. No, it doesn't allow me. So I will do this way. 1 second. I don't know if it's possible because it doesn't open. I don't know why. So I will continue with the lecture, Susanna.
Yeah, if not, just tell
Yes,
us
because
what was in the
here,
interview that you wanted to spotlight. To highlight on that. Yeah.
Sorry, but it doesn't open. I don't know why.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's a new laptop anyway. But okay. So in the womb, we feel and we are connected and aligned with that early sense of self. 40 years ago, we didn't know that the early sense of self started building in the womb. But we know now that, and that's something incredibly amazing. So this sense of self is so linked to our true nature and those essential qualities that makes difference us, all of us, to others. And to preserve baby's uniqueness and those essential qualities, that true nature, from prenatal to the first years of life, we need to feel, as we've seen on the first slide, or the third slide, all of those ingredients, key ingredients, to feel welcome, safe, recognized, and loved by others, but mainly by our parents, by someone else, obviously, but by our parents, or care personal givers, or the school educators, yeah, in all the natural settings that the child is naturally developing, yeah. So the key point here is that we discover by developing our projects, that we need to go through from a prenatal education and transfer this key knowledge towards an early childhood education at the schools, yeah, at early childhood schools. And then we found that we need to establish a bridge, a natural transition from the first school of learning, the first system of reference for the social emotional learning, the child's social emotional learning, from the womb, that is the first school as we know, to the early childhood classroom, to the subsequent developmental or educational stages, yeah, for the child. So that was a real challenge for us. And then where did we start? Well, bearing in mind that only is the child's first physical, emotional, mental environment and his system of reference, as I've said, in his social emotional learning, it has been paramount for us to start transferring this key knowledge on the prenatal period to the early childhood school and through university teacher training programs. So how we did, I will try. There is another video, but no, I don't know why. Well, it's one of the videos we made through our organization, and then yes, I will describe a little bit that on this through our projects and this type of teacher training, what we do since 2014 is to build during the annual school year with early childhood teachers, with parents and children. We train all of them to transfer this essential knowledge to develop positive emotionally environments in those settings, yeah, in the home, at home, and in the classroom, but reproducing the ideal conditions for the child's wellness, where teachers, parents, and children learn and experience how the absence or not of the mother-baby emotional bonds during the prenatal stage has a clear impact on the later child's socio-emotional development. By doing so, we help parents, educators, and the child learn to self-regulate, have a positive perception of themselves, build strong and stable bondings, empathize with the needs of others, and, well, everything is important and needed to get to the trust, to trust their unique qualities. If we don't feel stable, don't feel security, harmony, balance, and we don't receive all of that, we can trust our unique abilities, qualities, essence, and we can discover or connect with our life purpose and project of life, lifelong projects. Sorry. Okay. And how does the educator? Educators are all obviously teachers, parents, caregivers. But when I say I refer when educator, I refer with to the school educators. Yeah, that is the main figure we of reference with who we work with. So whenever we build a positive emotional environment in the early childhood classroom, made of balance, harmony, wellness, trust, sensitivity, oneness, well, security, coherence, all of those key ingredients, yeah, I've shared with you at the beginning of this lecture, and obviously, naturally, love. As parents, personal caregivers, and school educators, we can help child to preserve his true nature, and fulfill his life purpose for thriving and not for surviving. That's the key objective, yeah, the key purpose of all of this for us. Oh, I don't know if I'm going very quickly because there are three people.
It's
after
okay.
me.
It's okay.
It's
You're
okay.
talking,
Okay.
but at the same time, we're having the
Okay.
slides,
Okay.
so
Okay.
it's fine. Don't worry.
Okay. Perfect. So, as a conclusion of all of the experiences we've had with the projects at the early childhood schools, with the teacher training around Spain, and all of these years, all of the parents, thousands of teachers, hundreds of parents, and thousands of students, children around Spain. So, as a conclusion, when our early experiences are somehow traumatic, hostile, it is much more difficult to remember who we are, find the meaning of life, develop our life purpose and our long life project. Otherwise, when our true nature and uniqueness are recognized from the beginning of life, we are able to manifest and develop a greater coherence, vitality, self-regulation, joy, tenderness, a positive self-esteem, wellness that inevitably connect us with a natural set to fulfill our life purpose. And this is the end, yeah? And then just to share with all the audience that if we really wish to build a harmonious, peaceful, and thriving humanity, it is so needed that we begin by loving babies and recognize their true essence from the beginning of life. Every unborn child is a huge impact for our whole society. Every new soul becomes part of a universal planetary project in Earth. Okay? And that's all.
Thank you,
Thank
Noemi.
you.
I wanted to ask you because you're doing such an amazing work in Spain, but I think this is such a model for around the world. That's why I wanted so much to have you here with us. Because one you are saying a couple of statements that are so important, because on this summit we always have been focusing on the time of preconception, conception, pregnancy, and now we are and us the mother, us the real educator, right? Prenatal educator for the baby. And now you're talking about practical things, which is our society, how we are at this moment built on, and how can we preserve, I love this, preserve the true nature of each baby, right? Because schools are receiving these babies. There's a lot of, ways to school our kids, but, uh, the big majority are going for, schools. And to preserve this true nature to fulfill the life purpose for thriving, not just surviving. This is so amazing. Can you explain, because I think our audience would love to hear practical things about how are you implementing this in early childhood, in primary schools, for instance. What are you, are you doing games with children? How are you, helping children and to be able to preserve their true nature? And also, what are the advices you are giving for the school educators?
Yeah, we this type of work, as I've said at the beginning of the lecture, we do through the teacher training programs, yeah, university programs, and then through the education project at schools, yeah, and then before that, what we developed, it was how, because we realized after those teacher training programs, we could see that it was so needed that they received, yeah, or we yeah, that they received, yeah, that knowledge, because it's still today. It was a challenge and has a little bit changed, but still it is something really needed, yeah, because they start at the school, they start with childhood, but they don't bear in mind, consider the previous prenatal stage to start. So that's the key point. And then we established different phases of implementation that we developed. In total, are 5 phases. And then what we found and developed, it was that the 2 main phases, they were really crucial for the teacher first, and then for the students. And in parallel, teachers, parents, and children. I mean, when we do the teacher training at schools, the way we do is part of the training that the teachers receive, that is a theoretical, often pedagogical and scientific, that they receive, that is the fundamentals, yeah? But it is the theory, yeah? And then they receive the more practical and the tool, research, and practical educational recommendation. But what we've been doing, and it was a challenge and a surprise, because it was not easy at all. No, they know we're so interested in, yeah, the teachers, I mean. And then I mean that the first phase we have implemented, it is start with yourself, and it's aimed at the teacher. So it is all of those different practical exercises, as we all know, yeah, yoga, relaxation, although we have all our own resources, yeah, for the teachers, but here you can use all of those at home, in nature would be the perfect setting, yeah, to be in connection with yourself, and to self-regulate, to start learning to self-regulate, to learn to breathe, to learn to relax, to learn to meditate. I mean, the resources are the ones we all know now, but it's how you implement along the whole school year and every day of the school calendar, every day of the week. So they put in practice, obviously. And then we have those later sessions with the teachers to know the results and the experience that we had. And they share with us that it was the ones who will put in practice, not all of them. I wanted to do it, yeah, because it was something I'm talking about nearly 12 years ago, yeah, and then now to be much more different, but not there at that time. Yeah. And then they look at us as if we were sort of how do you say that?
A strange piece in the puzzle.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. And then that's what the main point. And then they start the first semester of the school year. They put into practice. We establish a school calendar, the date of the week, at 9 in the morning, after the patio time, and then before leaving the school, children and teachers, they put into practice different exercises for self-regulation, social-emotional self-regulation.
And you also, I know that in your studies, you also involve the parents. It's not just about the children, it's also about the parents to understand the new concepts.
Yeah. We did it. We've been doing it with teachers, and then with those projects at the schools. We normally develop and implement every 2 years this type of project, at early childhood schools. And then it is a little bit different, not the content itself, but what the way we implement, the protocol, and the procedures, but the content obviously is the same. And then, as I said, is the first phase will be the educator. How the educator is the first who needs to do that personal growth, that work with himself, herself, because you can't. I mean, we are talking about what type of vibration, what are you transmitting? We are not talking about the academic contents. So they normally they start with this preparation, this consciousness, this connection with this consciousness, with her body, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, obviously, through all these exercises. And after a time, a period of 3 months, the first trimester of the year, the school year, they really experience that change. The educators, and in parallel with the children, obviously. But we recommend always that if we are school educators, independently the type of work we do, the profession, we need to be in connection with ourselves in a natural way, in a balanced way, first, before we deal with other people, we treat other people. If we teach, if we are therapists, it doesn't matter, it is the same, because we are working not only with the physical body or physical body, with the other subtle bodies, or any energies of the person. So if we are working with children up to 7 years old, their subtle bodies are under construction still, and they must be preserved. So they are so connected with their soul and with a high vibration. If we start doing through the mother during pregnancy until that time, and at the same time, if we preserve, we work with students through the educators, with the help of the educators at schools and with parents at home, this type of work, then we help children to become and to preserve that unique identity, singularity, uniqueness, and all those qualities, But it's an energy.
It's wonderful. I think Francois here, he's asking one question that I also asked you when we met. Have you branches in other countries? How are you expanding the work that you're doing, right? Another question is, do you have a textbook to speed up your work in our local society? Because it's amazing the things that you're doing. So we would like this to, to expand it not only in Spain but in other countries.
Yeah. Next step, we are organizing to spread, as you say, to all the countries, But we need first to be sure, to make sure in our country, and around Spain, exactly what we could find, in those contexts, with at schools. And then now we know, and the society, unfortunately, will be very similar in other countries, So we are reconsidering, but it's as you know, it's a huge work. But we are
and I invite our audience also, because you made available to us and our pre-summit speakers video about the work that you're doing. So if you want to go there, go to our YouTube channel. where you can even see, the classroom and the workstation. It's all very, very well done, and it's in English and it's also in Spanish. So if you want to go there, you want to know more about the Inteligencia Libre Fundación Instituto, you can always go there and check the amazing work that they are doing. I think they are, pioneers in the field, that the way that you are projecting, as you said, the womb learning to the school learning.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Noemi. I wish we had more time today. Thank you so much for being with us today. And
well, for me too.
And we continue to work further and to keep in touch and to connect our both organizations. Thank you so much.